Human beings are more advanced than ever. We have technology, more abundance, and choices than ever before. Yet, despite of this, a lot of people seem exhausted, lonely, and disconnected from their own lives. I've been living on a remote farm for quite a while now, and I have less choices for shopping, for entertainment, etc. Yet I feel more fulfilled living this way. And that's because I think modern life is artificial and unnatural. I mean, an average person gets up in the morning, goes through traffic to reach their workplace that you might not even enjoy anymore. It's high pressure, high speed, lots of stimulation, and by the end of the day, you just want to relax a little bit and get to do it all over again the next day. Now, there's pressure on the farm as well, but it's a different kind of pressure. It's the type of pressure that is grounded in reality. By the end of the day, you don't feel like you did some meaningless work. You might fix the fences, feed the animals, etc., and you have tangible results that matter to you and are meaningful. Now, of course, it's still frustrating, and the work is hard. Things don't go according to plan, and things fall apart constantly and are in need of maintenance. But at least it's your turf, and it's your personal, meaningful responsibility. And I think people can withstand hard work as long as they know why they are doing it. Now, of course, different people need different environments to thrive in. Recently, I had a conversation with a friend who visited Dubai, and I was very, very interested about Dubai. I've never been there, and I asked, what did you think about Dubai? And he told me that to him it seemed fake, and he didn't like it. And his wife enjoyed it very much. So that gives you a contrast of what people thrive in, what kind of environments people thrive in. So you can find growth in both. But I lived in all sorts of situations. I'm from Lithuania. It's a small country, so cities are quite small there. I also lived in Vietnam. And Vietnam, compared to this lifestyle, is just chaos. This kind of lifestyle provides you with it's much slower, it's quieter, and it promotes self-reliance, and that is very important. My father-in-law is the epitome of self-reliance. There's no problem too great for him, and he fixes everything himself, and it's very healthy. I think it's very healthy for you to be able to fix things yourself, because that means that you are competent. And when you are competent, then you are needed, and you are useful, and that in turn fuels your self-esteem, which psychologically is very important. So compare that to a sort of average situation where people work at a company that they don't have ownership of. You might be easily dispendable, easily replaceable, and you're working on abstract, intangible problems that you might not even care about. Now, another aspect of this is physical exhaustion versus mental exhaustion. Our minds need problems to solve, and not repetitive tasks, but problems that require creative solutions. And if the problem also requires a physical aspect, then that is the best of two worlds. And a self-reliant lifestyle, it tends to produce those kind of problems, and and it's very good for one's well-being. But moving forward, one of the most important things that a remote life provides you with is that, and this can be viewed both ways, it eliminates distractions. Modern life is full of distractions. There's many concerts to attend, many entertainment lobbies to join. The whole energy of it is that of distraction, and it distracts you from boredom. And boredom is where creativity lies. Boredom is not my enemy, it is my friend, and I welcome it. When I go and do some chores or work out outside, I train myself to not put a YouTube video in the background. I train myself to sit with my thoughts and to let things arise out of that silence. And that is important because I think when you don't have distractions, you tend to think about things that matter to you, things that you want to make or create. And that is very difficult to do with distractions, because that requires thinking. So for me personally, living here, it allowed me to pursue things that I would have not have maybe even attempted if I lived in a different situation, which is video making. For me, that is meaningful and purposeful. I mean, you're encapsulating ideas and events in a video format, and I can show it to my children, and even if I'm no longer here, I can that still persists. So that is something that I enjoy doing, and I'm only able to pursue those things because of lack of distraction. But this is not to say that a hermit's lifestyle is the only way to live a fulfilling life. In fact, there are dangers associated with a remote life. And that's because remoteness amplifies what's already inside of you. And that is the paradox. You think that you're escaping modern life, but you cannot escape yourself. And if you're lonely and depressed and you isolate yourself, that can turn out bad. Even statistically, it shows that as remoteness increases, suicidality rates also increase. People have less help, and I think it sort of brings to this conclusion that the one thing that people need is genuine human connection. I think solitude is a sort of a skill. It's like surfing. It can bring great joy. You can get a lot of insights from solitude, and that's why some people dedicate their entire lives to that, like Buddhist monks. But if you're unprepared, the ocean of silence can drown you. If you're unprepared, certain unpleasant things might arise and your mind can go on a rampage. And that's why human connection is so needed and necessary to ground you in those moments. I myself, I'm very lucky. I live with my wife's family, and I have there's internet, of course, so I can connect with my family back home. But I understand that a lot of people don't have those luxuries, and that's why you might not consider living in a remote place, and you would want to live closer to friends or to possibility to make friends. Although sometimes even living in the biggest city can be lonely, and many people are. So why do so many people want to escape the modern world? I don't think people hate society. I think a lot of us are just searching for something real again. Real work, real connection, a life that is non-abstract and intangible. A life where there's room for adventure and mystery. And modern life feels like it's made up. And a lot of people feel that, and that's why they want to escape. I don't think that everybody should stop living in cities and move into the wilderness. That's not for everyone. But I do think that there are a lot of aspects, good aspects about such lifestyle. And maybe a short exposure is what needed for many of us in order to think and live clearly again.